going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about Sony apologizing, but the most important thing is the size of the console that somehow has the entire internet talking, and a lot of people just kind of freaking out about the size of this console, because technically it is the biggest console that we have had up to date. So it is actually pretty crazy when you say it like that, but nonetheless we got some actual size comparisons and a ton more. But I want you guys to get in the comments below and let me know, have you pre-ordered the PlayStation 5? If you have, let me know, or if you're going to be getting it in general, let me know in the comments below as well. Is it a PlayStation 5 for you or the new Xbox? Like I said, vote on that in the comments below. And hey, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that big red subscribe button below, because it just makes you a much better human being, and you can consider it your good day after deed. And hey, let's try and get 11 likes too. That would be really cool. So kicking it off, just in case you didn't see the news, of course a lot of people were super annoyed at Sony because the pre-orders essentially went live a day before, and of course they literally got snatched up in a matter of like an hour. It became extremely difficult to be able to get your hands on there, but Sony did come out with an apology, as you can see on screen, that says, let's be honest, PlayStation 5 pre-orders could have been a lot smoother, but we truly apologize for that. Over the next few days we will release more PlayStation 5 consoles for pre-order, and retailers will share more details, and more PlayStation 5s will be available through the end of the year. So again, of course, it's absolutely crazy. I don't know what the actual numbers are for the pre-orders, but I can only imagine that they must be absolutely insane. If you do know the statistic for that, definitely let me know in the comments below, because I'm sure a lot of people will be super curious about that. Now, moving on to the actual size of this console. So what happened yesterday was we did actually get a first look on how the console was going to look, and this is the picture we did see. Now, that being said, of course, it's basically in, going in dimensions and so forth on just the width and the actual length of the console. Now, that being said, somebody over on Twitter actually decided to go ahead and mock up tons of different designs. If you had different TV sizes, all the consoles basically side by side, as you can see on screen, and a bunch more. Now, just taking a look at it, of course, we got the TV, and then we got a PlayStation 5 and the Nintendo Switch, but of course, with all due respect, the Switch is actually smaller than all the other consoles technically right now. But then if we take a look on this one, we got a PlayStation 5 standing up next to the new Xbox, then we got the Nintendo Switch, and then we do have the PlayStation 5 laying on its side, as majority of people would possibly go ahead and do it if it's under your TV, for example, like that. And then of course it's basically in comparison to the PlayStation 4. So if you weigh that up, the PlayStation 4 is more or less the same size as the new Xbox in terms of length, and then of course the PlayStation 5 is more or less, it's bigger than all the consoles we have right now. So taking that into consideration, yes, it does actually make it the biggest console that we have had to date. But at the same time, we gotta look at the pros of it. I personally am not really too bothered about this, but at the same time, like I said, I guess the doors and opportunities that is open for developers is insane, right? Could it have been smaller? I guess so, right? This is a different type of design. It's completely unique. It's not the usual type of design we've had with all the PlayStation consoles, of course, so far. So this is something completely different, but what this console is packing is what matters the most. Yesterday or the day before, I think it was, we were talking about the PlayStation 5, Miles Morales on the PlayStation 5. We were talking about the file size for that game alone, and essentially that game is actually meant to be the highlight of course, PlayStation 5's abilities, in the sense of, things like opening the door to ray tracing, the 60 frames per second, load times being a lot quicker. So I guess with the technology we have right now, as of today, yes, it is super advanced, but I don't know if they could have made the console smaller. Like I said, it's packing a ton of things, and this console is truly one of those next gen consoles. Now, that's not saying anything bad whatsoever about the Xbox, because that just looks equally as good. But of course, talking about games like Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4, that game looks phenomenal. So now knowing what they can do, of course, with the PlayStation 5, seeing the Miles Morales gameplay as well, and then also taking into consideration they're going to be doing the Spider-Man PS4 remastered as well. The reason why I bring up these games is because prior to this, on the current gen console, consoles, these were graphically really good. But it's going to be interesting to see like how Miles Morales actually plays on the PlayStation 4 in comparison to, of course, the PlayStation 5 version. But another thing to take into consideration as well, now actually talking about games, alright, more besides the console stuff, is how Marvel's Avengers is going to look. That's another thing that I'm super curious to see. I know a lot of people are actually now saying that it feels like games that are coming out right now on these current gen consoles, more or less towards the end of the year, well, now prior to basically this console launching, it's kind of like these games were just pushed out the door, because I mean, I can only imagine myself being able to, you know, develop a game for years on end only for the new console to then be announced. Like, I mean, you'd probably have enough notice, right, and the gear and tech and so forth, but that being said, you'd kind of just bring the game you have right now up to a decent standard to release in the current gen consoles for your sales, of course, and then you're truly going to push your next gen game on the next gen console. So it is safe to say, at least in my opinion anyway, I feel like a few certain games did kind of go down that path, but again, I guess it's all stuff we're going to find out, right, in the next couple of months. And that being said, I'm really excited to see just the future of the PlayStation 5. I genuinely couldn't care less about size as long as it doesn't eventually sound like my PlayStation 5 is taking off on a runway. I don't really mind, as long as it's a quiet console. The height isn't too much of a problem. Let's be honest, yes, it's going to be big, but it's going to, you know, go with majority of consoles as well. And I know the PC guys are probably just sitting back laughing at the debates that everyone's having now, because of course the PC cases can get absolutely insane. But for me, it's just all about the performance, and I think we are definitely on the right track for this console. But that being said, that's going to wrap up this video here. As always, subscribe for more awesome content if you haven't already. And if you didn't know, I am giving a game away of your choice this month. Thank you to Instant Gaming. There's only a couple of days left, more or less, to get yourself entered if you haven't already. The link for that stuff will be in the description below. And what I'll also do is link the original post of a Twitter user that actually went ahead and mocked up all these designs, which I think is really cool, because like I said, and like you saw as well from the pictures, there are tons of different comparisons for you just to get a rough idea on how it will look with your current setup that you have as of now versus your TV size or your monitor size, whatever it may possibly be. It definitely does give you a much better perspective, I guess, in terms of, you know, direction you want to go with your setup as well, and a ton more. So I mean, we'll have more videos on that in the near future, but I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.